The Monrovia City Hall has been the venue, and the occasion is a national symposium, of course organized by the Liberia Revenue Authority, the LRA.
I want to ask more questions. Ewen, Grand or Nima County, in all the countries where we carry the embassy, when they pay the tithe will remain the country, or it will come to Monrovia.
Because many of the people even come to Monrovia to pay their taxes because the system is not right. But some of it is going back. It's going back to County Development Fund. It's going back to for our county administrative system. So some of it is going back. But to say all of it collected will go back, we haven't reached that yet.
It's important that the private sector form a solid partnership with the LRA in order to have trickle-down effect of the kinds of results that the LRA wants to have.
They intended largely to raise awareness, first present the findings as we indicated earlier from the regional dialogue. Strategic goals to which we aspire and are now declare our strategic plan officially launched. Thank you.
This is the first national symposium organized by the Liberia Revenue Authority, the LRA, under the theme Domestic Resource Mobilization. This symposium brought together the President of Liberia, the Gambian former Finance Minister, and the former Commissioner General of Rwanda. This is Alvin Jask, and thanks so much for joining us here at the LRA.
Actually, we use 100% of the revenues from the sector to finance recurrent expenditure. And that alone limits government ability to be able to ring-fence these revenues and make investments in critical infrastructure and address, for instance, some of the benefits that the investors are using to come to the negotiating table and carry away fiscal revenue. If the revenues, for instance, from the extractives were ring-fenced, you find that government will have a lot of privilege, for instance, to invest in roads. It's a pain area, for instance, in the forestry sectors. Companies want to ship, but the bridges are broken down. But at the same time, LRA has revenue targets to reach. Every single day, LRA will tell you, for instance, I think on an average, the tax expenditure in terms of the waivers of fuel alone, I think is about $2 million a month. How about if government made an investment to address the bottlenecks in energy and provided reliable power to all the investors in the economy, and then enable them to pay taxes at the full rate? You find that the tax expenditure alone will be sufficient to fund investment in that area. So these are areas, of course, we need to have an end-to-end process to be able to support revenue mobilizations. Finally, the compliance culture in the country is also very important. And I'm actually glad that this morning we had the head of the country being involved in this process. It sends a message out there. And I want to encourage all stakeholders to rally behind LRA's call to mobilize revenues domestically.
Looking at the domestic resource mobilization, by taking that taxpayer compliance risk management aspect, that's the main embodiment of the DRM. If you look at most of the literature on the DRM, they just look at public savings and private savings. And the addition that we are looking at for this DRM is that we will also look at the nexus between foreign resource management and domestic resource management,
which still exists, include lack of coordination amongst spending agencies that has resulted in the duplication of functions, resulting into the inefficient utilization of on and off budget resources which would have been utilized to fund different and more productive initiatives, new projects. We have to engender confidence in the citizenry so that they are not left behind believing that their tax dollars are being misused or abused. Secondly, contracting debt to be used to finance investments in projects that will enhance the capacity of the private sector to expand its scope of economic activities, thereby expanding the tax base. Thirdly, increasing incentives for compliant taxpayers. And this could be in the form of excluding delinquent taxpayers from benefiting from government contracts, and also government serving as guarantors for compliant taxpayers to increase their access to financing. Fourthly, block mapping and surveillance. In the specific case of real estate, there is a compelling necessity to bring more structures into the tax net. In our most recent tax policy intervention, we increased the rates of the real estate tax. But if we are to benefit from the full potential of this sector, there is an urgent need for the expansionary policy, especially block mapping, to cover the lengthy breadth and length of Liberia.
Because that's our springboard in terms of revenue collection. The policy framework under the current Liberia situation is the agenda for transformation, and this is coming to its logical conclusion, and the review and evaluation was done. So I just want to mention that this DRM therefore stands as a good opportunity, as an input into the next plan. And when we talk about revenue generation, we always talk about what the revenue is going to be used for. And which is why the policy framework is so important. That the expenditures are so important, details of how the revenue is going to be spent. We saw from the regional dialogues with the stakeholders that they want to know how the revenue is going to be spent. It is why in the discussion of DRMs, the issue of expenditure is so important, and that the priorities that are set by the taxpayers in terms of expenditure are reflected in the National Development Plan.
Let me begin by thanking the Board of Commission and the entire Claret family for inviting me. So, make few interventions here. I was here early this morning, and I've also followed all the discussion. And I think one thing we have all gathered this far is that effective revenue collection requires more than the involvement of only the tax authority or many persons. I'd like to speak on one group of professionals whose involvement in revenue collection is quite key, although not usually apparent. And these are professionals who take part in advising taxpayers in determining, accepting, recording, reporting, and settling their tax liabilities. These tax professionals include, of course, lawyers and individuals of our own profession. They include accounting, they include appraiser, they include everyone who helps a taxpayer to determine what action, especially in our tax regime, which requires self-assessment, self-determination, and reporting. They play such a key role. How they play the role, the taxpayer compliance is either hindered or facilitated. I categorize tax professionals' ethical obligation in three broad categories. One, to their clients, two, to the tax authority, and three, to society as a whole.
Prudent approach that we need to look at in our context and try to look at the paradigm we've been operating under all these decades, whether it has yielded the correct fruits that we want from those investments. And the argument is they will still come, especially if it's natural resource. If it's their operating natural resource, whether you give them the incentives or not, they do the calculations of their bottom line, it is right for them, they will come no matter what the incentive should be. Thank you very much.
So Liberia is today a nation in peaceful democratic transition from a highly centralized government system to one that is designed to enable the citizens to participate in the process of service delivery for their overall human well-being and the development of their local communities. Through the National Vision 2030, the government has, over the past 11 years, successfully implemented a range of democratic government reforms aimed at reconciling the citizens, building peace, strengthening the state, and propelling Liberia to middle income status by 2030. A major component of these reforms has been the Liberia Decentralization Program. In 2012, the government launched a national policy on decentralization and local governance as a critical mechanism for peace building and state building in the context of inclusion and participation of the citizens in the process of building a unified, peaceful nation. Liberia's goal for fiscal decentralization is to implement an intergovernmental public finance system that is decentralized and sustainable, and in which the authority to tax, collect local revenue, and make expenditure and financial management decisions are eventually vested in semi-autonomous local government units. The objective is to bring fiscal empowerment to our rural communities and develop their capacity to manage fiscal affairs, procurement, human resource and infrastructure development, asset management, and information technology in a transparent, equitable, and accountable manner. To date, the local government bill is currently before the legislation. When passed, the local government law will establish the legal and regulatory framework for implementing fiscal decentralization in Liberia. The bill calls for sharing of certain revenue between national and local governments. It identifies all sources of revenue for county and municipal authorities, and these include real property tax, basic licenses, permits, revenues from fees and fines, service charges, and rental of assets. Vests the responsibility for collection of this revenue in the Liberia Revenue Authority. The LRA will retain this responsibility on behalf of local governments for 10 or more years. As in most other countries, the bill also calls for establishment of a local government fiscal board for allocation of annual grants from central to local governments based on a formula that considers population, land area, level of socio-economic development, and infrastructure. I believe that all these factor significantly in the government's drive to establish the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the Liberia Revenue Authority. The mission for these institutions go beyond the county treasury and county center framework to provide a collective public finance management leadership for the development of a consolidated roadmap to implementation of fiscal decentralization reforms in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Governance Commissions, and the Government Commission and other ministries, agencies, and commissions. On local government resource mobilization, for example, there will be requirements for reorganization of local government fiscal units, assessment and categorization of real property tax for tax purposes, training of local property assessors, establishment of county and municipal property registry at county and municipal levels for tax purposes, creating the enabling environment for public finance management and revenue protection at local government levels, and finally, tackling the age-old issue of a sustained tax education advocacy. Against the backdrop of the private call of citizens that taxes they have paid over the decades have hardly benefited their local communities, I believe a critical first step for fiscal decentralization is the National Conference on Taxation, and that considers emerging issues in local government financing. My fellow Liberians, democracy is a two-way street. For every right, there is an obligation. The right to peace, for example, imposes on us a duty to obey the law. Citizen demands for goods, for good roads, clinics, schools, and safe drinking water in the local community imposes an obligation on them to pay taxes. Okay? This is also why when taxes are collected, they must be applied to the purposes for which they were collected. At this national taxation conference I propose, local government and central government may want to consider issues such as resource mobilization, revenue sharing between central and local governments, and the value in engaging civil society organizations for advocacy work on tax payment as a necessary obligation to ensure reliable public service delivery and to sustain democratic governance. And thank you.
I mean, they intended largely to raise awareness, first present the findings as we indicated earlier from the regional dialogues, and we were very happy and blessed also to have persons who actually participated in the dialogues join us here today.
Having been graced by the Liberian leader, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, everybody is now saying that at least tax and revenue compliant in Liberia will have all the support that the authority here will need to get people to get involved in voluntary tax compliant.
Like you indicated, the presence of the president is a clear manifestation of the importance she attaches to domestic resource mobilization in our country.
Big donors to Liberia, partners who have been collaborating, other African nationals coming to support the process.
We have to transform tax administration in Liberia is a major task. It requires not only technical assistance, but also logistical support. You are there with us. You see some of the daily operational constraints. So clearly we need all of our donors. We want to use this opportunity also to again publicly thank them for all of their support to the LRA, and we look forward to continuous fruitful engagement with them.
Whether we are incorporating our risk assessment and management into the budgetary processes, at the time there's been a lot of report of budget shortfall that impact the activities. Like we all know, budget is a plan, and there are many sessions that go into the formulation of the plan. And anticipate that these sessions or these projections will team during the period of this implementation to ensure that at the end of the day you achieve your anticipated results. However, there have been, let me say, some shocks that have been the government is still recovering from, especially coming from the EBD or crisis, that during the planning process, the impact were not fully taken on board. And so as the reality became full, some of the projections would not be attained because these factors actually had an impact onto the administrative capacity of the authority. So one of the things that we are looking at is how can we, towards the future, plan better in terms of making more realistic projections, so that the impact of having or the reality feeding into the actual administration of the tax or the tax envelope does that negatively affect the capacity of the government to attain the budget. And so we believe that with the proper planning, closely working along with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, who's the arm responsible for the budget, or we are the implementers, we believe that looking at the economy holistically and being able to make a more realistic forecast will enable us not to, repeat some of the, or say mistakes or some of the, or incorporating all of the impediments that could impact the budget during the implementation phase.
They are not taxed before coming to the government revenue, they come as a lump sum. So when the LRA is doing its forecast, revenue forecast for the year, they work closely with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. We would have already signed an agreement with the partner that is providing that budget support. And we know exactly what is coming in at a particular time of the year, and that is always included in the forecast. So as much as we can, we really don't miss out on those foreign direct investment that is coming directly as budget support. If we do miss out, it could be as a result of currency currency exchange. For example, at the World Bank will always disburse in SDRs. The African Development Bank will disburse in units of accounts, and when it's converted to US dollars as a result of exchange rates, there could be some plus or minuses. But in most cases, the numbers are close to accurate. And we always do that in collaboration with the Revenue Authority. Then you have other direct investments that comes in as a result of loans or grants that goes directly into projects. A number of them are on budget, a number of them are also off budget. I thought to just interject that.
Just on the issue of the interest rates, I don't have the figures in front of me, but it is a fact, that the interest rates here in Nigeria are competitive within the region. I think specifically, I know certainly Ghana is much higher than ours. As I don't have the fact that recently we showed that are quite competitive. On the matter of investments and comparing the rates, as you may be aware, as a member of ECOWAS, we are all signed on to the Common External Tariff, which harmonizes the duties on goods entering into the region. Also, there is on the table a harmonization of investment incentives, so that there will be no particular advantage of going to any one of the country, whether you're in Nigeria or go to Ghana or Nigeria. Once you're in ECOWAS, those duty or whatever incentives that are to be harmonized.
On the issue of the counties, so rest assured, moving forward, we will definitely do this. We have been trying to present it at the national level, but we do agree that whatever we collect in the counties, both on the custom side and on the domestic side, we must share with the county leadership and also public in the counties.
$50 in the county or wherever, at the county level, you will stay there and buy it, $25 with them, then you bring the other $25 in Ruger to the central office. I think you should make it clear that's not how it works. If a percentage of that money will go back to the county for development, it doesn't work like that. You don't sit down right there and take some of the money and give it there. It goes through like the county development fund. So they gave the impression this morning, at least how I got from some of the questions that were raised, that nothing goes back to the county. It doesn't work like that. Been there for the county development fund ever since, so you should make them to know that is it. And I was happy when our panel this year pointed out that the people seem to think that the money that the government collects in revenue doesn't go back to them. As people were making those comments, I was saying, where do they think this government gets money from to build roads or improve on roads, to build hospitals, to build schools, to pay its employees. You know, I think more awareness is supposed to be made because the people think that as soon as the money is collected, somebody carry and put it in the pocket and start spending it. Then, on this afternoon session, I like it, and I would like this forum to please say more about the 3 areas that he touched on agriculture, fisheries, and tourism. I thought tourism would be the one that we could jump on easily and develop from there, but you talked about the investment outlay being so heavy. I don't know where we are now, but I'm old enough to know that when Hong Kong started in Monrovia here, if you wanted to talk about something inferior, you say, oh, that thing is made in Hong Kong. But look where they are now. So could we start from somewhere with our tourism to see if we could begin to use have it as a major income generating source or contributor to our budget? Mr. Fong, could you please enlighten me?
There was a UN study that the Gambia should not exist as a separate state because it doesn't have a viable economic source of economic maintenance, and that we should become part of Senegal. So in fast forward to 65, the government came in and they were faced with this situation where the country has one source of economic, the major source of economic activity being growing peanuts, groundnuts. And so they decided, in collaboration with one Swedish gentleman, the main street where the hotels are is even named after that Swedish gentleman. He was called Mr. Hardy. Mr. Hardy started the first aeroplane, the charter tours from Sweden. So the government this brought in Mr. Hardy, and they started to discuss this whole area of the tourism area. And the first thing they did was to have what they call a tourism master plan. The tourism master plan involved the basic elements were infrastructure, was redesignated TDA, Tourism Development Area. So there was no private land ownership on the ocean side of the land. All the beach area became public lands, and they redesignated as tourism development areas. So the next thing was the government had roads, built the roads that access into all of those
Gambia, Ghana, Nigeria, and what have you, you will notice that there is not much variance in them. It's either we are plus or minus 5 up or 5 down. So relatively, as it relates to foreign direct investment, you'll notice that most investors that come to Liberia will not easily leave Liberia to carry investment elsewhere because the rates are similar. So the same problem you will face here as it relates to tax rates and the challenges, those are the same challenges in those countries, and we work over time to reduce those challenges, to encourage investment from one annual or fiscal year to the next to make sure these investments come to Liberia. Secondly, some of the incentives we provide have to do with employment because government cannot employ everybody. So we give these investors these incentives which are similar to tax breaks because we'll be taking money away from government to encourage them to employ Liberians. The more Liberians you employ, you get some form of incentives for that. And the next thing we want to also have to do with your investment location. If you are to invest in or economically deprived region of Liberia, you also get incentive which is also a tax break as it relates to investment. So all of these relate to bringing more foreign direct investment into Liberia. Thank you.
We should be held to book by how society engages with all, how the LRA even deals with all in terms of accepting you to practice.
My question is, what role LRA is or support for LRA in terms of the tax competition in terms of resources or mobilization, the resource mobilization?
The point to gentleman over there that talks about employment and so forth. So on the positive side, you have this unemployment, you have sometimes roads being built, and on the negative side, there's always pilfering that is taking place, the transfer price that is taking place. One has to look at the cost and the benefits. If employment is being generated, but a cost that is far higher than the rest of the economy, then it is not worth the while. You don't need to subsidize people to give them jobs. They should go and look for jobs elsewhere. For that meeting, I think if it is done, the weight of evidence will show that these incentives are too costly.
Very quickly to present to us the key findings from the two panel discussions.
The Africa Agenda 2063. As you
plan, if anyone reads this strategic plan, you get a good comprehensive view of what they have done and what else needs to be done to improve the performance in domestic revenue collection. So if there are any comments, specific questions down the time, I saw that there are some, this must be an interactive session because there were some questions that were coming in over the screen.
I think currently, if I'm not making a mistake, there may be 3 or 4. You need to at least, if you can add 2 or 3 more staff to them, that will help. The second thing is that receipt books. We know that during the rainy season, the Grand Gita, the Southeastern become very difficult to access. So in most instances, as a fiscal superintendent, I interact with your staff on a number of occasions. And sometimes people go to make payment, they are out of receipt book. And when he's travel, the head travel to town for receipt book, sometimes it's going to take 1 or 2 weeks for him to get back due to the road condition. So I hope you will try to have a steady supply of receipt books that will serve them for the period of the rainy season. The third point is that the issue about awareness. If you were to consider doing some jingles and what have you in the local vernaculars, it will help. And I think the people are willing to pay their rightful taxes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whether that is in the purview of the LRA, that should be another aspect of the government, mostly with the controller office. So I want to let Her Excellency and the panel know that that part of our public financial management system is not strong enough. And now it has led to people not being happy to collect the taxes. What that speaks to is the...
I don't know plenty English. But that we supposed to carry the message in the interior to the people. I'm the chairman. I want to ask more questions. When Grand Gita or Nima County, and all the country will carry the message, when they pay the tithe will remain in the country, or it will come to malaria.
Taxes from everybody in the counties. Because many of the people even come to Monrovia to pay their taxes because the system is not right. Or some of it is going back. It's going back to County Development Fund. It's going back for our county administrative system. So some of it is going back. But to say all of it collected will go back, we haven't reached there yet. But we headed down that way.
My first is actually a recommendation. Considering the private sector has been an indispensable partner to the LRA, it will be, so that is my first recommendation. Mr. Dulcer faculty spoke on a couple of issues, one of which caught my attention is partnership with the private sector. It's important that the private sector form a solid partnership with the LRA in order to have trickle-down effect of the kinds of results that the LRA wants to have. But most importantly, it's important to create tailor-based awareness and sensitization on the importance of paying taxes. And if it's just the LRA, they've always done it by themselves, then the question of what would I get in return becomes a reservation that a lot of private sector actors tend to have. So when you have private sector representatives forming partnership with LRA and going to these business people and letting them know that you can do this, the importance of doing this is that there's a trickle-down effect that will come back to you. It sends out a sense of integrity. So the importance of having such partnership cannot be overly emphasized. My name is Emily Lapukuyu. I'm the Secretary General of the Liberian Business Association. Thank you.
And our expanded also include the custom brokers, our professional bodies, they are professional organization. And so under our one of our objective or primary responsibility of ensuring that those who practice before the LRA have the requisite skills, the Revenue Authority has been working along with the institutional bodies that serve as the regulatory arm or the association for those groups. And what we are trying to do is to, like he said, help them self-regulate. They are a professional body and therefore they need to build the competence internally within their institutions to be able to ensure that their members live up to the rules and the regulation, but also in conformity with the law. And what we do from the LRA perspective is that jointly with them, we are shortly soon to be publishing regulations on what would be the requirements and the procedures for you to be licensed to practice before the authority. And one of the things that we are strongly emphasizing is that you need to have the technical competence. And so one of the ways that we are going to ensure that the technical competence are developed is sharing with them, that we say, our training guide in terms of the knowledge that will be required of the practitioners. And in some cases, as necessary, we can also conduct training so that the changes or the information in the tax law that you need or you need clarification on, the LRA will also provide.
The situation with LOFA, Mr. Superintendent, we are both aware with the burning of that building, and we'll be fighting. I did 3 days ago, I was surprised to learn that the equipment have not even been taken to LOFA, so we engaged the Minister of Internal Affairs office and we're working on it. The thing about fiscal discipline secrecy is this. All of the programs we talk about county service centers are all under deconcentration. It's a stage of decentralization that the local government policy says we're going to start from. You know, 1,000 miles begin with the first step. And that first step is deconcentration. Now, county service center is not the place will be going. We are going beyond county service center as I indicated in my document here. That we will go to a place where we establish permanent local government financial management units.
Including county officials and members of the traditional council, the diplomatic corps, development partners, the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for your presence and your participation in this occasion. Your gracious presence, active participation, and contributions are hard motivation and your pertinent input. We are grateful and like to express our sincere thanks to the media for giving excellent coverage to this event. We encourage you to continue the professional and positive engagement with the LRA. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our wholehearted thanks to the staff of the LRA and the organizing team, in particular Mrs. Laventa Sendolo and Mrs. Jeffy Topa of Management Solution Incorporated for a job so well done. This event hosting owes it to your careful planning, logistics support, enormous coordination, and cooperation. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to be a part of this historic and noteworthy event of our beloved country and the LRA in particular. We are optimistic that the information and discussions that grew out of this symposium will serve as a catalyst to drive each and every one of us as Liberians, residents, and taxpayers to support this national drive of domestic resource mobilization through voluntary tax compliance. Thank you very much.
General Afrida Stewart Tamba has been in the forefront with the President gracing the occasion, with all your friends from Tanzania and other parts of Africa and the sub-region. Describe what you've done today in starting the first symposium for Liberia, the theme, domestic resource mobilization.
I mean, the day intended largely to raise awareness, first present the findings as we indicated earlier from the regional dialogues, and we were very happy and blessed also to have persons who actually participated in the dialogues join us here today. And additionally, like you indicated, the presence of the president is a clear manifestation of the importance she attaches to domestic resource mobilization in our country. We were blessed to have joining us here today the former Commissioner General of Rwanda and also the former Minister of Finance from the Gambia, joining us in charting the course for our own domestic resource mobilization strategy. Without taxation, there can be no development. So this strategy is very important for us, because as a country we need to have a clear plan as how we will mobilize resources domestically. Donor support in the world is drying up, and so as Liberians we must get our act together and see paying taxes as a national duty to our government and our nation.
Last question. I see all your partners. Mrs. Saki named some of the partners collaborating with you. What is your word of thanks to them, and do you need them more than ever before?
Certainly. We do. We have to transform tax administration in Liberia. Is a major task. It requires not only technical assistance, but also logistical support. You are there with us. You see some of the daily operational constraints. So clearly we need all of our donors. We want to use this opportunity also to again publicly thank them for all of their support to the LRA, and we look forward to continuous fruitful engagement with them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It has been a full house here at the Monrovia City Hall, and all the partners with the Excellency Madam Salif also present. It means the LRA has got to get all the support from the Liberian people. Domestic resource mobilization strategy planning here is one major aspect of this administration. They've been around for just a couple years, pretty new, but indeed, with best practices being put in place here in Liberia, Liberia stands the chance of getting to be self-sufficient, maybe into generating the rightful revenue and the more lawful revenue for the upkeep of Liberia. You know, the goals for tax collection will be government services and the well-being of the people that live within the country. This is why it is so important. This hall has been jam-packed with permanent individuals and partners from the international community. This has been Alvin Jask.